Hello and welcome to the Knatters Knits podcast. Today is Sunday the 13th of December 2015. My name is Natalie and I'm known everywhere on the internet as Knatters Knits, hence the name of the podcast. I also have a small yarn business, very small, it's not really a business, where I sell handmade knitted items made from my hand spun yarn, hand dyed yarn. I also teach and obviously do this podcast. So welcome to everybody who's been back before, you mad fools, but thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with me, and welcome to anybody who's new. Thank you so much for taking the time to check me out, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. I try to keep mine fairly short compared with a lot of the others on the internet, because I know some people find it very difficult to give up an hour or two or even 3 hours to watch a podcast, so mine hopefully will be a little bit shorter than that. So what have you been up to this week? Have you had a busy week? I know with the run up to Christmas most of us have and are having very busy weeks. At work it's been the usual craziness, trying to get ready for Christmas and make sure the residents have a good time. But I think we're getting there, and I think the atmosphere there at the moment is lovely. All the trees up, the decorations are up. I've even found time to put my own tree up at home, so we're getting there. And that's the title of the episode, Getting There, because I think that's how I feel about my projects as well this week. So let's have a look at the list. Okay, I have a finished object to show you. I don't know why I'm getting excited, because I'm not that pleased with it, but anyway, I have. If you remember from last week, I was talking about doing a test knit for somebody of a hat that I said was fairly simple, and here it is. As you can see, very simple, and I didn't quite get the ribbing right at the bottom, but never mind. This is the Lorcan hat, Lorcan slouch hat, and it's too small for me, as you can see. It's a bit snug and not me really, but I think it's partly because of the yarn. It is acrylic with a little bit of wool in it. There's just some Aran that I had sitting on the shelf up there, and I just thought, oh, that'll do for the test knit, and I'm not that keen on it. It doesn't feel very nice. I'm not even gonna, no. It looks lovely to photograph. The only problem is it stands up on its own. Look, no hands. You see, no hands. Yeah, it's a bit not right really. So I started another one, exactly the same pattern, but this time I'm using the same wool as I made the small baby hat. Where has it gone? A couple of weeks ago. Now you can see on there it doesn't look as if there's a particular pattern, and it is what it is. This one, however, came out very differently. Can you see the striping? Or I don't know, it's not a striping really, is it, because it's at an angle, but the colour, the way it's come out now, completely different to how it came out on the little hat, just because of the circumference of the hat. So I'm liking this a lot more. It's coming out really nice, and of course this is a lovely soft one because it is wool. I think I've done the rib right on this one. Just like that. So we'll see what we see. Hopefully I'll have that finished for next week to show you. So I'll put that one to one side and put that one way over to one side. I've just dropped something really important on the floor. Please bear with me just a second. Put my head on that. I've dropped 2 or 3 things on the floor. It's not good, is it? Got it. Right, sorry about that. So that is my finished object. I have a half finished object, and I've decided instead of keeping this under wraps, I'm going to show you, because this item has been very mystical up to now, and I'm sure you think that I've been making it up. Excuse me. But, ta-da! One sock. And the reason it doesn't fit in the frame completely is because it's for somebody with bigger feet than me. It's for my son-in-law Graham, and it's huge. He's got size 12 feet. Sorry Graham, your feet are now outed for the size that they are, but this is the yarn. It's a West Yorkshire Spinners yarn. And the colourway is there. Rather nice. That browny mustardy colours, just slightly lighter in real life, but it's not bad. I quite like that. It's been okay to knit with. I've quite enjoyed it. The only problem is I tried a new heel out and I now can't remember which one, so these might be a very odd pair of socks. We'll have to see. I find it frustrating making something so long because I've only got size 4.5 feet, and so to make them as long as this, I've been, come on, aren't you done already? And I've had this much more to do than I would normally do. So Graham, I love you dearly, but you might find these are the only pair of socks I ever make you, if I make the second one. So that's that one. Put that one on that side. So I have a couple of acquisitions to show you this week. No new yarn. That's pretty amazing for me, isn't it? Pretty damned amazing. But the first thing I'm going to show you, I have been waiting for a little while. I followed its development and making. When it came out for sale, I ordered it and I've been so excited. Poor postman, I've been stalking him like mad, waiting for this. It's a bobbin. And most of my bobbins are standard ones for when I spin like this. Just wood with a metal or plastic shaft in the middle. Very nice, but over time, because I live in a very warm house, I find that these plastic bits pop out and I end up having to super glue them, didn't hear me say that, back into place again. So when I heard that a company in America called Aker, and those of you who are spinners will know what's coming now, were making some special bobbins, I got really excited. They come in a lovely little bag like this, a net bag. Nothing special about that, you might say. They come in pieces. Yeah, pieces. They are made on a laser printer. Now, traditional craft, laser printer very modern, meeting of the two worlds. Oops, you'd got a flash of the colour there, didn't you? Do you want to see? Now that is nowhere near the colour. It is a really bright pink. Now that's not doing it any justice whatsoever. The colour you can see in the rim is partly what it is. Now the great thing with these bobbins is that you can choose the pattern here and the colour. So I've chosen this colour, which I know is a very fuchsia bright pink. And there's the other one. And I chose the pattern. So they are, to a point, unique to me. Obviously somebody else might choose that pattern, but they are unique to me. Yes, they're in pieces. So where's the other bit? Well, it's got some spinning on it. There. And what's unusual about this is it's got these little metal studs in. And I'll show you why. So it's got a special system where you put it in and twist to lock it, and put it in and twist to lock it, and there you have one Aker bobbin. I'm not going to get it anywhere near the colour. No, it's not showing it at all. If I do it in front of black, no, it's not going to do it. Believe me, it's fuchsia pink. It's very strange, this thing, computers and colours, isn't it? It is, believe me, honestly, it's fuchsia pink. And this yarn is red and black, so that's that one. I absolutely love it, to quote a certain Simon Cowell. I love it, love it, love it. It's light, the ends don't come off. Rigid, sturdy, but it's so light. And to be able to pack it away afterwards and it fit in a bag when there's no yarn on it, like that, well, it's just a travelling dream. And as I have an Ashford Traveller, it's going to be fantastic. I'm really pleased with this. So much so that I've asked Phil to buy me some more for Christmas. They are fantastic. 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 Have you got the idea yet? I really, really love this bobbin. The great thing is, of course, that you can see when you've got multiple colours, you can see it all here. So you can actually see what you're spinning at the moment. Because I've only got a little bit of yarn on there, it's not showing, but you can see the colours all the way through. So if you've got a multicoloured yarn or a gradient even, you'll be able to see it there. I really do like these. Yes, it was expensive to import it, but importing things from the States usually are. But I have to say that as they are custom made, of course they have to be because of the choosing the colour and choosing the shape, to get it within 3 weeks I think is phenomenal. And all hats off to Akerworks. I think you're great. They now make them in the Ashford bobbins, which is what I've got, an Ashford. I didn't know how long it would be before they actually started doing Ashford ones, but I really do like them. I don't think I'll be buying any more ordinary wooden bobbins ever again. I love this to bits. So, rave reviews for Akerworks. Thank you very much. My favourite. Poor postman. He was really stalked when that came. Right, so the next acquisition I have, she says try not to make too much noise, sorry folks, is a book. Yes, I'm on the book thing again. This one is called Book 1, The Knit Stitch, Inspiration and Instruction by Sally Melville, with photography by Alexis Xenakis. And it looks like that. Inspiration and instruction to build your skills, wardrobe and confidence. It retails at $19.95 in the United States. Again, I do this every time. I've lost the instructions for the UK price. Canada, it's $29.95. Now, why it's so much different, I don't know. And the reason I bought this is because I was doing some Ravelry pattern looking, as you do. Wanted a particular pattern, and I just happened to have bought the book. Now, I like a lot of the things in this one. I love this one, the 3 Scarf Ruana. What looks like. Oops. Like that. Can't see that way. There we go. A lot of the designs in this book are actually basic knit. There's some purl in there, but a lot of them are just plain knit. From knit flat hats and mitts. Through to sweaters, just plain sweaters, men's ones. There's all sorts of different hints and tips in here. I bought it because I want to make a new jumper for me. You may remember that I did this yarn to go with it. And so this is what I'm thinking of, making something out of here using this yarn. I don't know if you can see that the lighting's any better this week or not. I hope you can. I have tried. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights on in here today, and it's made a little bit of a difference, I think, but not a lot. So we'll see what we see. So that's that book. There's an asymmetrical vest, scarves, you name it. There's all sorts of things. The only thing I don't think there is in here is trousers. And every time I say the word trousers, sorry, at the moment I'm having mental blanks. I keep thinking, Donald, where's your trousers? A good old Scottish saying. Right, so that's that book. The second thing I wanted to show you was the Knit Vent last instalment, you'll be aware, of course, that I've been knitting along with Helen Stewart on her Christmas Advent calendar for knitters called Knit Vent, and there have been 5 patterns up till now, and this week pattern number 6 came with these kindling gloves, kindling mitts they're called, with a little bit of cable work on. They also match the hat that came out earlier in the series, and I really like the look of those. So if I get time before Christmas, I'm going to have a go at these as well, and probably a hat to go with it. So they do look nice. They are unisex, so we'll see how they go. Again, I'm thinking of using some more of this yarn because I've got oodles and oodles of it. But hats and scarves and things to go together I quite like. So that's that one. So the other things I wanted to talk about really were about the community of knitters and generosity and the latest post that's on the front of Ravelry. Each week, and maybe every couple of days I think, they change the front of Ravelry. Either Casey or one of the super mods put something new on there, and they've been talking about gifting and patterns and things, and that's the latest post. Of course, by the time this podcast comes out, it's probably moved on to something else, but if you scroll further down you can actually still see previous ones there. So it's something I've done from time to time, every now and again when I've got a little bit of cash, is just doing random acts of kindness and gifting people patterns. I've done it again in the last week, so 3 or 4 of you that are regular watchers of the podcast who happen just to have signed up and have become members will have found patterns gifted to you by me. I hope you enjoyed them. I will do it again at some point in time, but I don't announce it in advance. I just like to get on and do it. So for those of you that have had them, I hope you've enjoyed them, and happy knitting, folks, and consider them a Christmas present from me. Now, another thing that I'm really hooked on is Instagram, and I do love and find great inspiration from all the pictures that people post, and a lot of people that I follow are fellow yarnies or knitters, crocheters, dyers, weavers, generally nice people. And I noticed about a week ago there was a thread popped up where people were granting wishes, and I thought, oh yes, I'd like to do that. And the premise was that you granted somebody a wish, and once you'd done that you were then able to ask for a wish of your own. I sent off some yarn earlier this week for somebody who had asked for a sock blank. Kicking myself now because I've realised that I actually really like that sock blank, but I'm sure the person who's going to get it will like it too. I also put a few more goodies in their parcel as well. Being Christmas, you can't really not, can you? It's nice to get secret surprises. So they did that. So I then went on and said I would either like a particular type of yarn or a project bag. Well, I was watching a podcast earlier on this afternoon by the person who's granted me my wish, and that person is called, I think it's Caroline, or it could be Caroline. She's from Holland, and she has the creative, I always get this wrong, Colourful Creativity podcast, and the thing she's sending me came up on the podcast, and she showed it, and it's a project bag, and it's one of those that stands up on its own and you can turn over the top to make it like a little bucket that you can put your yarn in so that you can use it as a yarn basket. And it's in the most gorgeous material, so I'm really looking forward to getting that. So thank you very much, Caroline, or Caroline. In fact, you'll have to tell me how to pronounce your name properly, because I tend to pronounce things the German way, but with you being Dutch, you might pronounce it slightly differently. So that's that one. I'm still trying to make things for the Christmas fair at work, which was yesterday, and I didn't get to because I wasn't feeling very well. But I will get them finished because they'll be able to sell them later in the year at the next coffee morning, something like that. I've got a couple of shawls still on the go, Matthew's hoodie, Phil's vest type thing, my blanket. None of those have been touched this week. I don't know what's up with me. It's not my knitting mojo, because I'm still loving knitting. I've done a bit of spinning, as you've seen. There was that little bit there. Still not pink. I wonder what I can do to fix that. It really is bright fuchsia pink. Now, the lighting's you can just see it in between there. It's that bright as in between there. Not, yeah. I think we've got it now. I don't know what I can do to speed up. Maybe I should take on learning continental knitting, because I am a thrower rather than a picker. I don't know. But I know that I'm finding it frustrating that I'm not getting through the projects as fast as I would like. And I've got so many lined up. In fact, loads and loads and loads. Of course, it doesn't help that I've still got that knitting stitch dictionary and all the plans behind me over there of some of the designs I want to create. And just this room at the moment is irritating me, because Christmas is down here. All the presents I've got to wrap, the cards that I've got to write are here. I'm so behind. I don't know what to say, really. It's got to that stage where you go, ah! I just hope now that that picture that I've just sort of done like that doesn't end up as the one YouTube picks to put on the main picture of the revelry of this podcast. Hey ho. Right, so what else have I got to tell you? Not a lot else, I don't think. I've got a couple of yarny presents for people at work, and no, Jen and Jenna, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about somebody else. I'm lost for words, which is unusual for me, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I need to do something. Maybe I need to come up with something to reinvigorate me for 2016. Maybe we could have a resolutions thread in the group, in the Knatters Knits group on Ravelry. What do you think? If we had a resolutions thing, and we only make resolutions that we're really intended to keep, so I don't want 20, 30, 40 of them. I'd just like you to sort of go and put 1 or 2 on that maybe we can help each other with. One of mine has got to definitely be no more yarn, and to stop buying pink, because look at it all. Absolutely loads of it. And that's red, brown, oh yeah, browns. I've got loads and loads of stuff here. And this one's a Debbie Bliss Rialto DK. In fact, the first person to put something in the chatter thread can have this one. Let me know if you want it. Rialto DK by Debbie Bliss. Just come a bit adrift, but it's not been started. Then this is a Rowan Pure Wool DK. See, lots of DK. The colourway is shade 28. Wow, so inventive. And this one is Sylvan Tiger yarn. This is lace weight. I've never knitted with lace weight. What on earth possessed me to buy it? I don't know, because I usually like things that come out and grow very, very quickly. So to buy a lace weight for me was a daft thing to do. But it is nice. His yarn base is tie and lace. It's 80% British BFL wool, 20% silk. It's 800 meters in 100 grams, so that's why it's so fine, I guess. Magenta, there's a colourway. I always thought of magenta as more purpley, but this is definitely a pink. And again, it's brighter than that. No, it's still not picking up, is it? Give up, Natalie, just give up. So that's one of my resolutions, to stop buying pink yarns. Looking at these ones as well. This is my Snuffles, Hedgehog Snuffles by Ellie from Goth Arts Creations. She's stopped dying for the time being, which makes this and this very rare yarns. Indeed, that's the We Three Kings colourway, and that one, I think they're all on the same base. That's a goth rock base. Yeah, all the same base. So I've got plenty of yarn. I don't need to buy any more. I've got more patterns and books than you can throw a stick at. In fact, looking at what I've got and what my local library stocks, I think I've got more than they have. So it's time for me to stop buying and start making. So I think that's going to be my New Year's resolution. Stop buying, start making. I'm trying to get it as a mantra in my head. Stop buying, start making. Stop buying, start making. Is it working on you yet? Are you hypnotised? Right, so now I think I won't put it in the chatter thread. We'll have its very own thread. Resolutions for 2016. Mine is stop buying, start making. Stop buying, start making. Could do some music to go along with this now, couldn't we? Right, the other thing I need to do is start using my sewing machine more. So a quick question for any of you out there who actually uses a sewing machine and does sewing. What sort of patterns do you buy? I know there's been a big trend for these block patterns that you can buy. What was it called? It's got the word of 100 in it, I think. Anyway, they're block patterns of basic shapes of tops, dresses, that you can get. Not Simplicity and what was the other one called that we used to use? Vogue, and there was another one as well. Yeah, I definitely need to think about using my machine more and have a bit of courage to make some tops, because I've got specific tastes. There's a lot of the stuff out there with being slightly on the larger side that just isn't right for me, and also I find that a lot of the materials that I've got are really more suited to bags, and I need to sort of refine my bag making a little bit more, so that when I do them, that they are suitable for selling, because there are a few tweaks I still want to make on my bags. So that's that. Just a quick question really, what patterns do you use? And again, come along in the chatter thread and let me know about it. I really love to hear your recommendations. And then finally, this thing that's around my neck. Now this is one of the first yarns I ever spun, and it does look now, oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I quite like that. Very, very felted. It's partly because it's been washed, and partly because it's been worn so much. And this is knitted as a tube, so on DPNs, and it's multiple colours, and I absolutely love the colours. They're done by, that's better, Rachel from Porpoise Fur. That's the name of her company. And this was the first ever one that I ever bought from her, the first fiver, and it really inspired me to get spinning. And as you can see, her colours are absolutely gorgeous, very variegated. There's all sorts of peaches and pinks and greens and blues and purples and browns and all sorts of things in. Just made it into a tube, joined it. I don't know how well you can see my very poor join there. Hand sewed that together. Of course, now I know how to Kitchener, and I would do it differently, but that's what I did to start off with. And I just wear it round my neck like this, and just a little bit of jiggling. It's different. It's, you know, nobody else is going to have one because it's in my hand spun. It's very unique, but it just keeps the cold away, and I just find that on top of these light tops that I wear that are sort of almost summer weight really, that it just gives that extra bit of warmth, especially as it's turned a bit colder here now. Right, so we've got to 30 minutes and we're about to go over, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I am going to podcast again hopefully next weekend, which is the weekend before Christmas. I can't say that I will definitely podcast over Christmas because I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. But my daughter and Graham will be here, so I may or may not, although it might be quite interesting to sort of record his reaction to the socks if I actually get them finished. So that's that. I need to get a wriggle on because, as I just remembered at the beginning of the podcast, I'm supposed to be out this evening. So I'm going to try and crack on with that now. So I will say bye-bye. Thank you very much for taking the time to tune in. Pop over to Ravelry. Do let me know all the things that we just talked about, and I didn't write them down, so I'm going to forget them now as well. But do drop me a line, and if I haven't started the thread, please do somebody start the thread for me. I hope you have a lovely week. Stay safe and warm. Hope you've not got any flooding like we have round here, although I'm okay. There's no flooding at this house at the moment. And I shall see you very soon. Take care now. Thanks for watching. Bye.